needed a place to vent and kind of take hold of my thoughts and let go of a lot of the memories that I was replaying over and over and over again. It was a traumatic event when he passed. He died very suddenly after his relapse. He relapsed when he was 14 years old after a 10-year remission. And so we only had 5 months with him after that point. And we were preparing for a bone marrow transplant, and he succumbed to what we think was probably sepsis, but it was very sudden. So I had to get those thoughts on paper. So I went to my parents' house. They lived a few hours from me at the time, and I went for 3 days, and I just wrote and wrote and wrote nonstop. My mom would bring me tea, my dad would bring me crackers or say dinner's ready, but it was this isolated 3 days of just writing. And it was like a purge, a cleanse. Like I just had to get everything out on the paper. And so I really captured a lot of the details of the event itself and the progression of the disease and what I was going through emotionally. Continued to journal and write and slowly get back into being a part of life again, and went back to working as a nurse at a local hospital. I'm a mother-baby nurse, so that felt kind of good to get that part of my life back again. And then I started working for a nonprofit cancer organization as their outreach coordinator, which was the job of my dreams, because at that point I was able to kind of embrace my experience a little bit and not be so afraid of it and not feel so much pain about it, and I wanted to help other families at that point. And so I was helping other families who were newly diagnosed. I had organized an event for the foundation for families to spend an evening together at a local arcade. There were about 200 families there playing skee ball and video games and riding go-karts and everything, and it was very festive. It was one of the highlights of the year, this kind of event. And my husband called and told me that that the pediatrician had just called him to inform him that Jacob had leukemia as well. I was surrounded by all these families with kids with cancer. I had come through it already, the full gamut of it, over 10 years of experience with the disease itself and then dealing with loss, and I felt like I'd done everything right. I found a productive way to deal with it. And there I was among all these people, and I was thinking, I have to do this again? Like it was one of those, like, am I in my skin? Because this is so horrible. I couldn't process it. I walked outside of the building, and I sat on the grass, and I just collapsed. I just sat down and sobbed. I thought, how can this be? I can't even fathom the idea of taking Jacob, my youngest, to Children's Hospital, Los Angeles, the next day, which is what we were instructed to do. And it's exactly what I had to do with Justin when he was 5.